This course is brought to you by Appy Pie as part of our Academy series.
Now we're going to be talking about finding the feeling that your reader desires most. And we want to become clear on this feeling before we go ahead and start writing our copy. It's going to make it much more effective. So in other words, how will your reader feel when they get what they want? So your copy is going to be talking about pain points that your reader's experiencing, and then you're most likely going to be offering a solution to that pain. And we want to ask ourselves, how is our reader from our target market going to feel once they take advantage of our solution? Whether we're giving them solution in the copy itself, or we're encouraging them to take an action that will get them the solution that they want. So for example, we're going to take a look at yoga. So let's say you run a yoga studio and you have an email list of 1,000 people. And now you're sharing an email with those people about why they should come in for another yoga class. What's the feeling that those people are most after? Now, most of the time, when people go to a yoga class, they're not going to become more flexible. They may be an added bonus, but what they're really after, if you talk to these people and you understand what they're feeling, they feel like they want peace. They want calmness. They may be feeling ungrounded or uncentered in their life, like there's too much going on and it's overwhelming. And they just want to feel at ease and relaxed. And if you know that, then you can speak to that feeling directly inside of the copy for the email that you're writing. So instead of saying, come to our yoga class, we have the best classes in town, you're going to become so much more flexible, you can speak directly to that feeling of overwhelm. You can say, are you feeling overwhelmed and like life's just getting a little bit too hectic right now? And you have a lot of time thinking in your mind and you want to get out of your head and live into your body and feel what that sense of relief and peace is like. If you're speaking to that feeling directly, that is powerful copy. And like I mentioned before, there's this famous copywriting saying that's been in all these old school books, where people make their decisions based on their feelings, their emotions, and then they justify that decision with their logic. So speaking to the logic is important about why our yoga class is the best in town, why it's better than the other options out there, and it's a really good deal. But if we haven't hooked them with that emotion, then we're not going to be effective with our copy. We want to speak to that first, that feeling, that strong feeling. And in order to do that effectively, before we even write the copy, we want to be very clear about what the biggest feeling our reader desires is. So here are some more examples that I found as I was browsing through the internet. So this one came up, a pop-up on a website, and it said, tired of Googling for answers? Learn a little bit about running each week to keep you going strong, happy, and injury-free. So right there, they're going for the feeling. They want you to keep you strong and happy and injury-free. And the key word there is happy as far as emotions goes. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best example out there. I think they could do a better job of really speaking to those feelings. Like, what does it really feel like to be happy as a runner? You want to keep going strong and injury-free, but what does that happiness feel like? What does it feel like to win a race, to beat a record, to have a new PR, personal record, because you're injury-free? Tell me more about how amazing that feels. That would make this even more effective. Now here's an advertisement that I found as I was browsing through my Instagram feed. So this is about a service called Clarity, where you can organize your bills and your expenses. And take a look at the text at the bottom. This app can help you organize your bills and recurring expenses. You need to try this app. What do you think? Do you think that this speaks to the feeling that the reader's after? I would say it does not. In the main picture of the ad, it says organize your bills and expenses. But why is that so important to organize your bills and expenses? Why would I, as potentially their target market, want my bills and expenses organized? Well, I want to feel like I'm on top of my money. I want to feel safe, like I understand where my money's going in and out, and like I don't feel at the mercy of these random bills. So personally for me, if they were advertising to me, this would be way more effective if they were speaking to that feeling that I'm after of feeling safe and in control of my expenses. So I think this is a BuzzFeed listicle thing. And this is a headline that says, if you ate any of these 32 foods, you had an awesome childhood. Now, one thing that a lot of copywriters talk about is a lot of the stuff that's considered tabloidy or very bad writing, like not healthy writing, tends to be a good place to study because there's a reason why these things are so popular. It's kind of like the junk food of online articles and online information. And what we can do is we can use these articles to pull the good and then use those good principles inside of our copy where we have a more like bigger mission usually that we're after. So this right here, for some reason, it stirs up some emotion in me, in feelings. I want to feel like I had an awesome childhood. And so I'm also curious, what are these 32 foods? So this is one that I think does a better job of speaking to the feeling than some of the other examples you heard in the past. Doesn't mean the copy's great or that this is an article that I feel like I personally need to jump in and read the whole thing. But as far as an example specifically about speaking to the feeling the reader is after, I think this is a very cool example. I want to know what it feels like to have an awesome childhood. I want to bring that feeling back up. And I feel like if I were to read this article, I'm going to be reminded of what an awesome childhood feels like, to kind of be taken back to that state emotionally. So here's another Facebook ad that I saw for SoulCycle. Get your SoulCycle starter pack, 3 classes for a special price. And then at the title it says, clip in, find your soul, and let's ride. Now, I think this is an interesting example because in all of the word copy, I don't see anything that speaks to the feeling. None of this text says you're going to feel amazing or describes how great and happy you're going to feel when you work your body. But look at the image of the woman showing gratitude with a huge smile on her face, sweating. That communicates something to me. What that says is if I enroll in the SoulCycle class, I'm going to feel the same emotions that she is feeling right now. I'm going to feel grateful. I'm going to feel happy. See that smile on her face. I'm going to feel in shape and fit. She's sweating. She looks very attractive. I'm going to feel attractive. So notice how immediately that draws you in so much more. And this is a great example where copy can be done through words, but it also can be done through images. This image of this woman being grateful and smiling and happy is part of the copy itself. So here's a landing page to a popular website called Leadpages. And if you go on their website right now, this is what you'll see. I'm sure they change it pretty often. But the headline is turn clicks into customers. And then if we read the subtext, it says Leadpages helps small businesses connect with an audience, collect leads, and close sales. Easily build websites, landing pages, pop-ups, alert bars, and beyond. So that's great. And that speaks to the logic in a very good way. So as I mentioned before, it's great and important and necessary to speak to the logic. We want to turn clicks into customers. But if we really want to motivate and push someone to take action, what are the feelings behind that? What does it feel like to turn a click into a customer? It feels amazing. And that's what we start to see if we look to the images on the right. So as you can see, we have 3 people here that all seem very happy. And that's tapping into the feeling of this copy. It's like immediately as I look at this, I'm imagining that when we turn clicks into customers, I'm going to feel like these 3 people right here. Like I want to high five the people around me and just grin and have a huge smile on my face. So this is an interesting way to see how they're able to combine the feeling with the logic. And most importantly, they know that the feeling they're after is happiness, satisfaction. success in business, what that feels like. And these images do a great job of showing that. In this video, we talked about finding the feeling that your reader desires most and why that's so important.